First of all, this is very early morning scrubby Shawn, so please forgive me. But I just had an impromptu coaching session and it was successful enough that I thought I would share one of my favorite techniques, how to give advice like a coach. This is in a very specific situation where someone has multiple choices that they could go and aren't sure what the right choice is. So stay tuned, and I'm going to teach you something very powerful with so much nuance that if you execute it this way, you're going to always help the person have a breakthrough. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp, and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. Okay, I'll tell the situation briefly without giving too many details. One of my clients came to me and had a situation where they wanted to give feedback about a situation that they weren't happy on, something that someone did in their company that they weren't really happy with, and they wanted my advice. Hey, Shawn, can I get your advice? Hey, coach. So I said, yeah, tell me what's going on. So they said, hey, we have this kind of situation, and the outcome was not what I liked. How do I handle it? So I said, okay, what are your options? Step one, ask them what their options are. This gets them immediately into right hemisphere thinking, which is what we want. What are your options? So the person thought very briefly, the options came to them and said, I could do this, I could do this, or I could do this. Now in this case, the third this had a little maybe emotional bite to it, just a little bit. I don't want to go too far with that because this is a very polished vice president, very successful. It wasn't super emotional, but I could sense it. What I was doing listening as a coach as they were giving their three options, I was listening, looking for energy dips. That's what you want to do. When they're talking about their options, listen for when one or more of the options creates an energy dip for them. That's something like a blocker, okay? So once they shared that with me, then I did the second step, which is ask them permission to reflect back what you think you heard. You heard them right because you're a coach or you're wearing the coaching hat in this situation with your employees and you're listening intently and you know them in the situation, so you heard it right. There was really no need to repeat it back, but when you do ask permission, you're getting them to basically give you the freedom to help unlock their mind, to step into the room with them in their inner mind to explore together. And that is a very powerful tool when you're coaching somebody, to get their permission, okay? So you ask them permission to repeat back what you heard. Then step 3, when you repeat it back, your job as a coach is to add some clarity to how they communicated their 3 options in this case. So this was option 1. This is what I heard. Option 1 was this, option 2 was this, and option 3 was this. Now, because I heard their energy dip in that option 3, when I recommunicated back what option 3 was, I made sure to not introduce, oh, you were emotional here. My perspective doesn't matter in this case, but I restated it so that they understood a little bit of the gravity of that third decision. So what you're saying is you want to do this in that situation. After you've said the 3 options back to them with added clarity, you then take the next step and say, based on what you just heard me repeat out loud, what does your intuition tell you? You are introducing to them, or I should say maybe inviting them to really rely on their intuition. This is what God's given us. We all have intuition. When people say, oh, the heart is deceitful above all things, and they quote Jeremiah 17:9, they think they're talking about intuition. That's not what that passage is talking about. The passage is talking about being emotional, right? So our job as a coach is to take emotion out of it and then help them use their intuition. I can't give them the best advice. I couldn't. I don't know the nuances of the culture of the company, let alone the nuances of those choices. I don't even know really what my client is feeling on the inside. So how could I say, you know what, if I was you, I would do this? Okay, I have done that, but that's not what we want to do as a coach, okay? When you ask, what does your intuition tell you? That tends to be the place where they have the paradigm shift. You can kind of see it on their face. They're like, yeah. They just kind of breathe a little sigh of relief because they know already inside the best way to do it. What was keeping them from seeing the best way initially? That third choice, blocker. Now, that was in this case. When people are coming to you for advice, again, you're listening for where the blocker is. That's why we can't see clearly what the best choice is, because we're blocked ourselves. Remember the fear, assumptions, interpretation, limiting beliefs? I did 4 videos, boom, 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 boom on it. I don't even know if I'm getting that right, but I did 4. Go to my YouTube video channel and watch them. So when you do this in this way, you help them have a breakthrough, and the situation becomes very clear to them. And it can't ever be clear to you because you're not in their shoes. You don't know their culture. You don't know the personalities of the employees that they're interacting with. All you know is, this is my client. This is their choices in their own mind. They are blocked. I'm going to ask questions in such a way to unblock them. Okay? So try to use this technique. Write it down. Bring it with you to your next one-on-one. And use it if an employee is saying, look, I could use some advice, or a friend or a family member. Just practice this as a coaching technique. It's going to really help you in your job, wherever you are, whatever role you're leading. It's going to really help you. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform the world.